Yeah.
All right, questions for Dakota? Right over here.
Dakota, you seem to have a very strong command of the offense today. Not that you didn't last week, but you faced a better team. And there were several times when you stood strong in the pocket, faced pressure. I guess guys coming right at you and you delivered the ball. How did you feel about the way you stood in there today?
I mean, yeah, that's always a positive. I just have complete faith in my offensive line. I don't ever expect to really get hit. It is a game. The defense does practice too, so it happens. But when you have receivers out on the edge like that, if you can just hold in for that extra second and just buy a little more time for them, that you usually get themselves open.
Right here on the left, Matt.
A couple guys have mentioned that there's times where Virginia wasn't even set when you guys snapped the football. How much of tempo was an emphasis for you guys this week, and how much do you feel like it played a factor in this wide margin of a victory?
Yeah, there was two main goals that we kind of set for ourselves this week, and we talked about it last week. The first was, play at a fast tempo, play at our tempo, play at Oregon tempo, and I definitely think we did that tonight. You could see by the middle of the second quarter, we started getting some big gashing runs. They weren't getting set because they were tired. But, yeah, we really maintained that fast tempo, I think, throughout, I think about 3/4 of the game. And the other was, to protections. We talked about that last week. And, me and the offensive line were on the same page the whole night. There's a couple times I walked up there and I was like, hey, what are we doing here? Are we all set? We'll talk, have great communication, something that Coach Helfrich preaches, communication, how important it was. And I don't think there was a single unpicked up protection, like something that caught us off guard, like that happened last week a couple times. So, really happy that we accomplished those two goals.
Right here on the right.
Dakota, you have so many playmakers on offense, How do you think you did by getting them all the ball, spreading it around? And talk about how, there is no ego with these guys, whether they get the catch or someone else does.
Yeah, it's a really unique group. It's cool because, one thing during fall camp we kind of talked about, each position group kind of put something together, a couple words to define them. And the wide receivers, one of the words they used was respect. And it was interesting to hear them talk about it, and they talked about the respect they have for each individual's own skill set. How Charles Nelson, real speedy, quick guy. You have Dwayne and Darren as big, possession receivers, and Devin Allen, one of the fastest dudes. And so it was cool to hear them talk like that. They have so much respect for each other. They do kind of put that ego aside, and that allows for a great team. And we have a lot of room to grow. And I'm really excited to see the growth between week 2 and week 3.
In the middle area.
There aren't very many plays in the world that are good for 3rd and 36. Can you walk through the pass of Devin Allen? Were you shocked that he got one-on-one coverage? Did your eyes get big? What'd you say?
Yeah, I was shocked. I should have released that ball a lot sooner. I don't really remember, but I'm almost positive he probably had to run back 15 yards to get it because he's so fast. But I remember being like, okay, no, there's got to be someone deep covering, But the Virginia, they played man coverage on that, and that's good.
Over here on the right.
As far as Devin Allen goes, just how much he kind of had a breakout game after last season. How much does having him and his ability to stretch the field, how much does that add to the offense?
It's great. One of our philosophies on offense is we're going to get a team horizontal. We're going to use tempo. We're going to have our receivers hopping from side to side. You might have saw tonight a lot of formations where we'd get 4 receivers to a side and a back, so it's almost 5 to a side, and that messes with the team. And, one play we're on the left hash with everyone in the boundary, and then the next play on the left hash still with everyone in the field. And so we're stretching them horizontally, and then when you have vertical threats like that, it's just, you're pulling defenses in every which way. And, then you start seeing those inside zones and power really opening up for our running backs.
In the middle, Tyson.
You often say that your job's just to be the point guard of this offense, get it to the skilled players. But between some of those late pitches and that 50-yard bomb to Devin, or keeping the play alive to that for that throw to Darren, like how would you assess your talent in your game? Like how would you describe the way you play?
Well, it's really easy when you have the skill players around you that just make the play. No matter what. Hey, if I want to kind of get risky here and take this shot that. It's almost like 9 times out of 10 they're going to make the play for you. So it makes my job really easy, and it's really just hats off to those guys. to do what they do. Just to be able to trust a guy. Hey, it's 3rd and 36. I'm going to throw it as far as I can, see what happens. It's cool. You got guys like Darren that no matter how wrapped up the DB is on him, he's going to make the catch. And so really, yeah, it's the whole thing. Playing point guard, and they just make it really easy on me.
Is there any part of you want to just kind of show off to be like, hey, this is what I can do too?
No, not really, because I've been in a position before where I was having 28 carries a game. Games where it's like 500 yards of offense, and a lot of those games were losses, and that's not fun. I'd rather have a game where knock on wood, 100 yards, this or that, but we go out with a great win because I did my job of spreading the ball horizontally and opening up the run game for Royce or Tony, and nothing replaces a win.
You kind of just mentioned it with Devin Allen, but he said earlier that he just wants you. He kind of told you to just throw it up there and he'll go run it down. What is it like to throw the ball to him with a guy with world-class speed?
I'm still learning how to do it, but yeah, it's special. It is. I'm extremely blessed as a quarterback to be able to play with guys like this.
We're going to go last question right here because Pharaoh is going to come in. So last question right here.
Dakota, last game you spoke on the nerves and kind of having that as the march of victory was going on. How did you feel going into this game? I mean, having you done it before, did you feel just completely fine out there?
Yeah, and one thing talking, I almost felt I kind of got into the situation where, I like to really mentally visualize things and prepare myself so that I don't feel any nerves. And we have a lot of visualization techniques we work on. And one thing that, gets me sometimes is I get a little wound too tight and I go out there and I'm too calm. And I got to remind myself, hey, it's all right to, get, excited for the game. And so I think coming out, you probably saw there's a couple throws that I just looked tight. And, I got to the sideline and I'm like, all right, I need to hum a few balls on the sideline, loosen up my arm and go play. But yeah, no, I didn't feel any nerves, and it was definitely, helpful that this is week 2 and, I had learning experiences from week 1. But I think, one big takeaway is, that it's okay if I get a little excited, and I'm sure I will next week.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.